Hello, everyone, and welcome to our brand new series here on Figure Eight. This is well, I don't know what it's called yet, but it's a podcast series, and we're going to be discussing something a little different, something a little unusual for the channel. Uh, Anime. What? Do you guys know what anime is?
No,
I
not
don't.
really.
Anyway, I'm Seth. This is Micah,
Hello.
and that's Poyo.
Hi.
And yeah, well, what this is pretty much is we're gonna be from week to week. We're gonna be watching My Hero Academia season 6, which just premiered like today as of this recording. We just finished watching it, and yeah, and I'm not sure if we're just gonna do just My Hero every week. We might. There's a lot of stuff dropping.
There's so much anime right now.
Uh, Later on is Chainsaw Man. Spy X Family has returned. However, I don't think we're caught up on that, so I don't think
Mm-hmm.
we'll really talk about that. If we have like an off week, we can talk about some other anime. But we're gonna start with My Hero,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna do that every week. Hopefully, we can do that every week
Hopefully.
as the episodes come out.
We'll see how it goes.
But yeah, we we're all pretty big My Hero fans. We're all caught up with the manga except for one of us, except for Poyo.
I haven't read it in a few months. It's been like almost half a year.
But
Yeah.
you're caught up enough to where it'll be like
I know like the big shit. Like everything that like the anime this season's gonna cover I've seen. So like
okay. So you've read up to pretty much the end of the season, or what predictively the end of the season is.
yeah, even past that, but like yeah, I know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so My Hero Academia season 6, episode 1, or episode 114, A Quiet Beginning, dropped today. And unlike a typical first season premiere for My Hero episode, or for My Hero season, I'm sorry, uh, is not a filler episode.
Oh my god,
We actually
dude.
have
Oh my
we actually
god.
have manga content for a first episode of a My Hero season. We haven't had that since season 2.
Wow, amazing.
Wow. They still did that shit where it's like 80%. Like they still did that shit. They had to. But
Yeah.
like they didn't like it wasn't a filler and it wasn't like fully recap. Like it was legit just like the next part of the story with like
Yeah.
some like past shit slipped in.
Like, oh, we're going to the beach for no reason.
That would have been funny. Imagine if they started the show off with a beach episode, like a proper beach episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of beach episodes, there was last season's beach episode, which was like a movie tie-in, and that kind of like is like the perfect way to like transition into like this season. So far, from what we know, there is no movie that's going to coincide with this season,
That's true, yeah.
and you
Mm.
can definitely tell that that the visuals for um this season are way better than the last one because they aren't splitting the team in half to to accommodate for both a show and a feature.
Yeah, cause like the last movie that came out was World Hero Mission. This was called.
Yeah.
That was a great movie. I love that movie. I love that movie a lot. Um, Definitely the show suffered though. Like it was
Mm-hmm.
that plus COVID plus just other issues that was going on. So like
Just
personally for me, like season was it
Last
what
season,
was
season 5.
season five? I want to keep saying this is season five. Season five was not as good as I wanted it to be, especially since I like had read the manga and like the latter half, so much story content was cut out, which made me very sad.
yeah.
And the animation, like at the start, it was fine, but like I feel like the animation kind of waned as it kept going.
I think definitely COVID and with the movie on top of it affected it. I think now they're kind of like, you know what? We got some big big fish to fry this season, so we need to put all of our attention into it.
They're putting their whole Studio Bones putting their whole bussy in it.
Yeah, their whole dick in it.
um, yeah. So I guess that we can start with the the openings. The opening this season, which is directed by, I forgot his name. I just had it up too, but he is the same person who has directed the openings for JoJo's part 1 through 3, and is one of the key people who works on JoJo's part 6, and you can instantly tell there's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much
tell,
like
yeah.
there's like all of the alternate color palettes, there's so many like manga panel recreations, there's like comic book text in the background. It's so JoJo.
Very stylistic.
I immediately liked it a lot, and I could tell it was him. I could tell it was him.
The song is called, I think it's called Departure, I believe, which is, add that to the list of anime songs titled Departure.
Is there a law called Departure?
There's the first Hunter x Hunter.
I look up Departure and I see Hunter x Hunter, Guilty Crown, Mega Man Zero
God.
2. What?
Well, that's one of the songs in the game.
Oh, from the game. Okay.
And it's by Super Beaver. Super Beaver's done a lot of things for like anime, like kind of big 3 era anime, like Naruto, and they're getting a lot of with this season with Super Beaver, and then last movie with Asian Kung Fu Generation, they're getting a lot of big 3 era like groups, which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, the opening is real good.
It's definitely a upgrade from season 5's second opening.
Yeah.
Because as much as I love Man with a Mission, like, I don't know, the visuals were kind of lacking for that.
There was a lot of still shots.
A lot of still shots.
Also, like the song itself, like I'm not like too huge on personally.
Yeah. It's a good song. It's just
Yeah.
like, I don't think it's one of Man with a Mission's best.
It didn't stick with me like the last songs have in like season 4 and like season 3 and stuff.
And then we also got, well, actually, we should probably just go in the anime itself.
Yeah.
Right. So, episode begins. We're given a small, they do it in every season. 80% of the world has a quirk. There's heroes and villains, and I go to a high school and we learn how to be superheroes. And then it kind of recaps the ending of last season with Shigaraki being crowned Grand Commander of the Paranormal Liberation Front, which is essentially just League of Villains but big now, and we want societal change because we want to use our powers freely, and we want to like take control of the world, pretty much.
Yeah, they
Shigaraki-
basically wanted to start a fucking what would you call it? Like, I was gonna say not a riot, but just
pure
basically
anarchy.
just destroy the system. Like
The
start
hero
anew.
system, they wanted God. And Deku was like, no.
Yeah, that's a great Deku impression. You should do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, we catch back up with Hawks, who, as you remember from the last season, has been sort of
or if you don't, then why are you watching this?
yeah, what you just clicked on it, you're like, oh, figure 8 video. First of all, thank you for being excited about figure 8 video, and second of all, go watch the show. Go catch up with the past 114 episodes. It's not that long, I promise. One Piece is at 1,060, I think, right? 1,030?
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, you don't have an excuse. It's too long. Anyway, so we catch back up with Hawks, and as we know from the last season, he's infiltrated both. He's infiltrated the Liberation Front,
Hmm.
and he's pretty much relaying information back to the heroes, and as we know from the last season, he's got monitors all over his like wings and body, so he can't be like too explicit about what he says to the heroes, but he's given the message across. And now uh the episode flashes back a month earlier, and we see that Twice from the League and Hawks are like, they're like buddies.
Hmm.
They're
Good
like
friends.
Besties.
like Hawks is like, or not Hawks. Twice is like, Hawks, you're a really nice guy. I like you. And Hawks is like,
Haha.
He's Hawks is doing his job
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
and he's pretty much manipulating Hawks. He's pretty much manipulating. Hawks is manipulating Twice, kind of being all buddy buddy with him. But Hawks does say like, I do know that you are a good person. However, you are also a threat.
A pawn.
You're a threat with your duplication powers. So, you know, he knows what, he hasn't lost sight of the mission essentially. And then after that, we catch back up with the heroes, and they're talking to the police, and they're like, all right, we're splitting into two teams: Team Endeavor, Team Edgeshot. Team Edgeshot's up at the front, Team Endeavor's up at the back in the hospital, and you know, we're gonna go in and we're gonna fucking find these motherfuckers and beat the shit out of them, or bring them in peacefully.
Yeah, a good chunk of the episode is just explaining that.
And who better to bring with us than high school students?
No, right? I was just like, great.
Don't worry, it's just gonna be a little mission. Just need a little bit of
It's a
help.
little mission.
They're second years, so that would be the equivalent of like bringing American high school juniors to a war.
We brought a bunch of 16, 17-year-olds onto the battlefield.
It's okay, they're strong. They can.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
They'll be fine. It's not like they'll get any trauma or anything, you know.
No, of course not. And in this part of the so far throughout the episode is pretty like, it's pretty standard. There's a lot of talking. There's nice art. There's a shot in the beginning with CGI Endeavor. He returns from the last season, except his head wasn't CGI.
Maybe I thought it was okay. It's either his head wasn't CGI or it was, but they masked it really well.
Perhaps.
Yeah. In
Perhaps,
season
I
5,
don't
he showed up briefly in like one episode. But the funny thing is that he was never in any other episode, or at the very least, I couldn't remember him like being CGI in another scene. It was just randomly in that scene for some fucking reason.
In season 4, I think, when he like when he's like now the number 1 hero in Japan, he's CGI there. So he's just like CGI at random places. You just fucking, it's like I Spy.
I think he's CGI in a few shots in the Nomu fight too.
Yeah.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I guess the idea is that like motherfucker's big and hard to draw, so like
and he's constantly on fire. So
yeah.
You know what? These anime workers, they work what, like 15-hour days. So I'm okay if they're making some shortcuts, as long as they look good. It looks fine. It's just
it looks
noticeable a little bit.
It was kind of jarring at first. You're just like, why is he CGI? Yeah, I don't care too much as long as the animators aren't dying.
We catch up on a few of the only on a few of the Class A students. Bakugo is like, why am I in the back? I want to be in the front fighting the villains. And we cut to Kaminari and Toko. Oh my god, Tokoyami.
Yeah, Tokoyami.
And they're in the front with Mushroom Girl and Mudslide.
Mudman.
What's his name? Mudman. That was his name.
Yeah, I think it was Mudman.
And they're like, hey, do you think it's like okay for us to be here? And then Miss Midnight comes by and she's like, don't worry, you know, you're only here because of your
we just need a little help.
Just need a little help at the beginning, and then once you've done your job, you can go back to the the rest of the class in the back front, and they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, okay. I'm sure nothing bad will happen, and
Yeah.
we'll be fine."
Mhm. They'll go
Um,
back and, like, have a little coffee, or a little drink,
we'll have a little
just
beach
chill.
episode again.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, Miss Midnight reassures them that they're going to be there. They're not going to be there the entire battle as planned.
Yeah.
So then, they move out, and Endeavor's team with Aizawa and President Mike are there, and we get some flashbacks to actually first we see Dr. Garaki, and he's walking through, and he's built up his own reputation as like this philanthropist, like all around like good guy in the medical.
Yeah, like he's opened up like orphanages or
He's
something like that.
donated, and he's just a nice guy, He's just helping
He's
the
just a little
community,
guy. Like, what did he?
Yeah, yeah.
And all of the employees at the hospital like absolutely adore him because he's just grandpa, Dr. Grandpa,
Mhm.
he's a good guy. And then of course the heroes come in and they're like, yo, cut the bullshit.
We're gonna fucking kill you.
they bind
Yeah.
they bind him up, and Eraserhead uses his eraser quirk, and it's revealed that Dr. Garaki, for those who've forgotten his name, is the doctor that looks like Dr. Eggman. Hey,
Mhm.
look, a Sonic tie-in um, from the last season. Uh, he's on record quirkless, but it's revealed after his after Eraserhead uses erase ability, that he has like an aging like suppression quirk. So he's like has really slowed
Mhm.
aging. Oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
tired.
Yeah.
Which has been used to keep All for One alive, as well as we learn that the super regeneration quirk that the Black Nomus use are uh, are not a common quirk, and it might have something. It might be just like completely engineered,
Mhm.
which is interesting. And then while this is happening, President Mike, who is like really fucking pissed, just like grabs the doctor by the collar. He's like, "What did you do? What did you do to my friend? Why did you do this?" And we get some flashbacks to we get some flash panels of from last season of the Aizawa like flashback with Shirakumo.
Mhm.
That's his name.
Yeah, baby boy.
And how like this has affected him so much, and we finally got you. We're bringing you in. And he's trying to stay calm. He is like clenching his hand so hard.
You can tell he's absolutely pissed.
He's absolutely pissed,
Yeah.
but he's keeping it together. And he's like, let's just go in quietly. There's no blood. No one has to get hurt. And that's when shit goes down. As
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
is happening, Mirko is going through like she's found like a secret like sort of area in the hospital.
Yeah, it's like the secret lair that the dude was like working in that's like under the hospital that like and by the way, this was like a place that was like only the doctor would go to, no one else would.
Mhm.
Like that was the whole thing. And underneath there's a bunch of like nomus and all this shit.
Like everything. Like this is his like laboratory. Like
Mhm.
everything that all of the Nomu are like created here. Like this is like the base. So we finally found like the place to strike. And fucking Mirko's going through, and
She's
Dr.
busting
Gara
up some like new Nomu. She's fucking going.
Yeah, she's fucking it
right.
up.
And from the whole episode is pretty standard animation, but as soon as like the action starts,
It's
oh
going.
my god.
They
Yeah.
went crazy. They went a
Because
little
like
crazy.
Miracone, like she does some fucking spins and like some cool ass kicks. Like,
Yeah,
goddamn.
she's killing them.
And her fucking thighs blow up for some reason.
Yeah, because she's strong.
she flexes her thighs so hard, like there's like a like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. It's like steam billows out.
they knew what they were doing, and I'm sure they're going to have. I'm sure they're gonna know what they're going to be doing for the next few episodes
Yeah.
with her, because I'll save that when we talk about next episode.
Mhm.
But yeah, like the animation like spikes like to almost like
Really fucking
Did
solid.
you say like movie level?
I would say so for like during that hallway bit.
It's brief, but like it's like you can tell like it's there.
Mhm.
I feel like the season's gonna be a banger in terms of visuals.
Yeah, it's definitely a step up, like
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I would say like the visuals are already a lot more solid than like the last half season 5.
Absolutely. Like
Mm.
they must have I and I'm saying it's probably due to, they've gotten used to the COVID pipeline of work. They've
Mhm.
gotten used to they've decided to keep their team whole, I think, and I'll
Maybe.
get to that because
Mhm.
Okay.
I do have I do have a theory that I think we will get a movie this season. It just isn't right now.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, because like with World Heroes Mission, when was that announced? Like, because that movie it ties in with the season.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember like when was that announced?
It came out um I think the same week that episode came out, so during like the second half of season 5.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So and for those of you who aren't reading the manga right now, the it wasn't this chapter, it was the previous chapter's cover page. Horikoshi designed big color spread of like class A and all of them like gathered around the TV to celebrate season 6's premiere. And by the MHA logo, there is like a book or a script almost with My Hero Academia season 6 like on the cover. But right
Mhm.
behind it is a second book with with the only letter being M. So I'm assuming that is a tease for movie 4.
Possibly.
Could
But
be, or it could just be Hori being silly.
Mhm.
he's being a little goofy guy. I
He's
think the
been
movies,
real goofy recently.
if they're going to release a movie, it'll probably be maybe after, like, they'll announce a movie at the second half and then release it after this season.
You think so?
I pray.
Possibly.
Because in my mind, when like back when World Heroes Mission came out, I was just kind of like, and I think it was mainly because like it's kind of clear that My Heroes, but one of Bones' like biggest projects, and they want to keep making it because it's popular and it makes them money. Which means that they're gonna keep making it as possible and churn out stuff, which is why I was like worried for the show because like like we were saying, I don't think it's a good model to make the movies at the same time as to make the show because it's kind of it feeds off of each other's like staff.
Yeah. Preferably between like the mid-year where there's no My Hero, just put the movie there.
That is true.
That would make sense. I don't even know what a fourth movie could be about because
I have no idea.
Like at this point, if they're making a fourth one, like considering what's going on, it'd have to be a villain movie, right?
Shigaraki's I forgot his name, has kept he keeps begging for one. Like he's always joking about like, oh, the next movie it's gonna be a villain one, right? He's trying to manifest it, I think. That would be cool. Because I don't know, there's not really any free time. Like all of the movies that have come out
Mhm.
have happened during like the story's free time, where like shit isn't going on, like during like like mini time skips.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe a villain movie could work, or they just do a complete original thing that ignores the manga.
It's
But
such like difficult like thing to determine at this moment.
yeah,
It could be anything. Plus, like considering that they try to make these movies like canon to the universe,
Hmm.
which I don't mind that, but like it is one of those things where you're like, okay, so when's the next movie taking place? You know?
yeah, you gotta really think about it. Um, but yeah, I don't really have any worries about the visuals of season 5 really, because
Yeah,
Yeah.
what we
because
got
like
was really good.
Hmm.
yeah, I'm excited. Like this episode was it was good and all, but like I can I'm now just like waiting for what's next because I know what's gonna happen. Plus, like that's when shit's really gonna kick off
Yeah.
because yeah, I'm trying really hard not to like spoilers because like like how do you even talk about this without saying spoilers? Yeah, I feel like the season's gonna be really good.
Try to keep this
Hmm.
podcast as anime only friendly as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, true,
I
true.
I think I definitely have a lot more faith for this season just because of like of course, yeah, there is no movie announced yet so far. But I feel they probably just like got things more situated
Right.
between, yeah, of course,
They
yeah,
probably
COVID
did.
and shit. Uh,
Were they hiring or was there some like workshop they were doing a long
I'm
time
not
ago?
sure.
After season 5 ended, Bones had they put together like classes taught by Yutaka
Hmm.
Nakamura, who
Oh, that's right.
if you're
Yeah,
any if you're anywhere near like the My Hero Sakuga world on the internet, then you recognize that name.
Mhm.
Um, the cube guy does the cubes for the explosions, and it's
like
really good.
lots of environmental animation, very good stuff.
If you know the season 2 fight with Deku versus Todoroki, that fight is what
Mhm.
he basically did. Yeah.
Or a Bakugo
Mm,
Deku or versus Deku 3.
Yeah.
3? 2.
two,
I was looking at the
three,
number 3. I was looking at the number 3.
right? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that was a good fight. Yeah, yeah, because like they're supposed to train the animators when like they hire people. So
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just remembering like this is not related to My Hero. I'm remembering with like Attack on Titan season 4 part 1 and like don't quote me on this because like this is probably like vague memory of the actual information. I just remember like there was either that or some other project where there just wasn't time to like properly teach the animators how to do certain things
Oh god.
because that was also a show that was most definitely impacted by COVID and there was also not a lot of time to you know do certain things and it's a tangent anyways.
Yeah.
Animators
but
are really good people.
they are.
Mhm.
Again, they work like 15-hour work days. It's almost, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not sure if that's true for every studio. I know Studio OLM, who does Pokemon, they have long work days. I think they have a pretty good pipeline, though. I'm not entirely sure about um, their workflow.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty much I'm hyped for the rest of this season. Next
Yeah.
episode is gonna,
Hmm.
I can tell from the preview, uh, it's gonna look real good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I
looks
think
pretty good.
they definitely know what they're getting their hands into.
Hmm.
Like this
uh
is the season where like you kind of
you
it has
gotta.
to be all hands on deck. Like I'm sorry, it just has to be.
It's just when shit really goes down, it's constant fighting.
Yeah,
I won't go into that, but you know, it
lots of shit going
just a
on.
lot goes on. So you gotta have your whole team there. You gotta put
Mm.
your whole
Yeah.
Bones pussy in there.
Your bones ussy. And
Your dick and balls.
I'm gonna give it maybe 3 more episodes before I can confidently say that My Hero's anime is high quality again, or is super high quality again. It's always been quality. It's always been quality. It's just season 5 took a hit.
A noticeable hit, and it's just like
I know people said like season 4 kind of downgraded, which I'm like I guess, but like I don't know. It still looks good to me. I don't care.
Mhm.
I think it just matters when it's like very noticeable. And season 5 was no, but I think season 5 was noticeable because of like the other issues with it. So like the fact that it looked mid just kind of soured everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of season 5 of My Hero Academia, season 5 part 2 is now up on Amazon for pre-order, the Blu-ray, and it's gonna come. It's gonna come with both OVA episodes that released a few months ago.
Oh yeah, wait, the
the baseball
really
OVA and the Mr. Smiley.
Mr. Smiley.
If you haven't seen those, go watch those because those were actually pretty good. They're
pretty. They're pretty good.
Review of those.
OVAs.
They funny AF on Twitter.
The baseball one was cute. It was whatever. Like it was a cute one, and then
it's just cute. And then the Mr. Smiley was just funny. It's just like you get to see Bakugo like laugh like to death, and so like.
I think this will be the first time that My Hero OVAs. Well, the first time they were dubbed, I think. And then no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
They were dubbed before.
Season 4's OVAs, which were very boring, were dubbed, and this will be the first time that they'll be released physically with like the season. So that's what I meant to say.
The animation in those two were also pretty good as well.
Yeah,
pretty good. Like, it was.
solid. Yeah.
But season
this episode
6
was good.
This episode was good.
Woo!
And
yeah, baby,
we're back.
It's always good to have My Hero back. Like no matter what, like I like this dumb little franchise. So
yeah, as much as I can pick apart at it sometimes, I also very much love it.
I love My Hero. Like
it's
you can't
like Sonic.
Yeah, just like Sonic.
I mean, it does have Dr. Eggman in it.
It does have Dr. Eggman in it.
Sonic.
But I think
is Shigaraki Metal Sonic?
I think he's more. Yeah, I guess so. Would Deku be Sonic then?
Yeah,
I guess.
Well, anyway,
I think we've kind of exhausted our thoughts of this episode.
Yeah, definitely.
But this has been the first episode of our currently untitled anime and My Hero Academia Figure 8 podcast. I'm sure I'll come up with something.
Yeah, I suggested UA Anime Club. I thought
that's stupid. No,
that is damn. No, that is good. We might use that, or we might.
I feel like that's still fine, even if we don't talk about My Hero, because like whatever.
Yeah, UA is anime. It's recognizable in the anime sphere.
Anything else we want to talk about, even if it's not My Hero related?
No.
Okay.
I want.
Okay.
Actually, no. I don't have to say that.
Okay.
Say it.
I want Mirako to eliminate me.
See you next adventure, everybody.